friends.
I'll tell you what, here's where the cardio comes in, man. If Diaz can stay in this, he's going to win the fight.
I think that second round was incredibly hard to score. I might give it to AINA because of the knockdown and because he controlled more of the round time-wise.
What does Diaz have to do a better job of here, knowing only 5 minutes left? What does he have to do to take this fight back?
He needs to get AINA on the floor, bottom line.
Pressure, 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 pressure.
Conversely, for Iron Mike AINA, the upstart here, the Hawaiian, on the verge of maybe the biggest win of his career, what does he have to do to maintain his confidence and not get too emotional, not start the pressure unnecessarily?
Well, he's got to stay out of the clinch, of which he's in right now, and he's got to keep this fight standing. Because standing, all he has to do is move around. He's got such a weird peekaboo style. It's been frustrating Nick in the early part of this fight. But if it goes to the ground, as we saw, Nick was getting close to a submission at the end of round number 2.
I mean, it looks like Nick Diaz isn't even putting a lot behind those shots, but that's his style. He's landing every one of those strikes and scoring.
Well, what he's doing is trying to get Mike to react, and then he's going to counter that reaction.
And it's an annoyance.
It really is. Alexis Arguello, the great featherweight and lightweight champion, used to do the same thing. And as soon as he saw an opening, he would crack a hard shot and knock the guy out.
Nice elbow by Diaz. And he followed it up with an uppercut. Now a knee. A minute and a half gone in the final round.
In my eyes, gentlemen, Diaz cannot let this go to the scorecards.
I think Diaz is starting to pick up the pace, but AINA immediately responds. He eats an uppercut.
Bill, I agree with that.
Well, that makes me feel really good, Steven.
Body shots by AINA, and these two are just taking turns, unloading on each other. What a fight in Hawaii!
Wow. Diaz should try and get double underhooks, get his hands locked behind AINA's back, and then take him to the floor.
And AINA's the only true native Hawaiian on the card tonight. What an unbelievable upset it would be for him to win here in his hometown.
Okay, there he drops down a level, looking for the takedown. Good sprawl by AINA against the fence, trying to drop his weight.
AINA pushing the head down. Beautiful takedown defense there by Iron Mike.
Very impressive takedown defense against Cesar Gracie-trained Nick Diaz.
Don't let him out! Don't let him out!
BJ Penn has to be thrilled with the way this fight is unfolding.
I tell you what, win, lose, or draw, Mike AINA has opened a lot of people's eyes tonight.
And I think secured himself a pretty decent future with EliteXC. A lot of heart, a lot of determination. Nick Diaz making his highly anticipated debut. And really, you guys, what a year it has been in mixed martial arts. The year of the upsets. I know it's cliche, but this one, if it goes the way it may, could be one of the biggest ever.
It could.
Don't jump to it yet, Morrow.
Uh-oh, there he goes.
Down by Diaz.
Now, Diaz has a minute 40 to get this thing done, and he's got the toolbox, as you said, Morrow. Plenty of submissions.
Minute and a half left, and there you see him, not wasting any motion. Diaz going for the back.
And as he closed the second round, he's closing the first round on top of AINA.
This is a problem for AINA.
A big problem.
Yeah, Diaz got both the leg hooks in, going for the rear naked choke.
And if you guys take note, Diaz is in his corner, listening to his corner.
And in that corner, of course, is Cesar Gracie and Victor Galdon. And this could spell big trouble for Mike AINA. Again, the clock ticking down, less than a minute remaining in the fight.
I think the question in my mind is, if this fight does go the distance, even though Nick's got back control for the last minute and a half, is that enough to win the round? I'm thinking not.
A very close fight here between Nick Diaz and Mike AINA. It very well could come down to the final 30 seconds. Who is going to emerge victorious? Of course, the Native Hawaiians, they're booing because, well, Mike AINA's in a very precarious position, but you have to let a technician like Diaz paint his masterpiece.
And he do it with 10-15 seconds left.
Tenacious, heart, determination. Diaz to the judges again. Mike AINA, regardless of the outcome, definitely incurring a moral victory here tonight in Hawaii, going the distance with Nick Diaz. What were your thoughts on Diaz's first fight in 6 months?
I think Nick Diaz may have taken AINA lightly before this fight. I'm sure he would never admit to that, but AINA stole round 1. Round 2 was real close, and it could have gone to Diaz or it could have gone either way. Round 3, I think AINA won more of the round if you go on only the time, so it's going to be really tough for the judges. Round 2 was one of the most exciting rounds that we've seen. AINA came blasting away with that chopping right hand, and down went Diaz. Nick came roaring back. Boy, were they shooting it out here. But Nick, once he gets that ground control, he started working for that submission. Took his time, but it was a little bit too late to get anything done.
The 10-point must system has come under intense scrutiny in mixed martial arts lately. We're about to find out what it produces in this contest. Let's go back to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I read our score totals, we've seen an outstanding effort by both of these fighters. No matter who the winner is, they both deserve a round of applause. Iron Mike AINA and Nick Diaz. Well, fans, after 3 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Richie Kabinian, scores about 30-27 in favor of Nick Diaz. Judge at ringside, Mike Onzuka, scores about 29-28 in favor of Mike AINA. And judge at ringside, Kyle Takao, scores about 29-28 in favor of the winner, Nick Diaz.
Well, the cage attracting boos like a trailer park attracts tornadoes. Steven, really this speaks to the 10-point must system in MMA. I don't necessarily disagree with the result, but your thoughts on a split decision win for Nick Diaz?
It was obvious to me that the 2 judges that scored this for Nick Diaz felt that him being closer to finishing the fight was enough for him to get the victory.
All right, let's get to the victor. Here is Nick Diaz with Bill Goldberg.
Okay, guys, I'm here with both Nick Diaz and Mike AINA. Nick, you get the win. 6-month layoff, man. I know you wanted to get in here and do your thing. What do you think about your victory tonight?
Well, I don't like to make excuses, you know what I mean? Well, no, first off, I can say that everybody here on the island, really tough, you know, everybody. This guy right here, he's so tough, you know. But that's not, you know, the thing for me, too, was I think in my head, you know, was that's what kind of happens, you know, when you don't know about your opponent and who you're fighting. I kind of got in here today and I couldn't really decide how I was going to go about beating this guy. I should have spent most of my energy trying to probably get the clinch and get the takedown. I knew I could probably pick him apart standing up on my feet, though, but I did switch it back and forth, and that's what I was worried about. And I took a shot in there, and I played it safe. You know, I went down to my back. You know, I'm not afraid to being finished or controlled on my back, you know. From the footage I've seen on this guy, I wasn't afraid to take the safe way out. You've seen in my last fight, too. You know, I take a shot, I go down, and use my guard to sort of defend. I feel confident I can make it back to my feet. Well, regardless, stay safe while I'm on the ground there. So not to make excuses, you know, today, but I also, you know, I don't like flying for very long like that. And, you know, this, it was a real dent in my momentum, this break I had.
Hey, man, hey, contrary to popular belief, you're a hell of a class guy, and you came out here and you showed your heart. Mike AINA, jump on over, my friend. The only native on the card. I don't know if he took it lightly, whatever. You said you hit harder than Takanori Gomi. You impressed a lot of people out here. I know you solidified a contract with EliteXC, and if you didn't, by damn, I'm gonna make sure you did.
Right on, right on. Hey, how about another hand for Nick Diaz, though? Put in an awesome performance, and he's an awesome guy. You know, coming into this fight, I had a lot of I wouldn't say pressure, but you know, a fight in Hawaii, like they said, the only native on the card. And I take a lot of pride of where I'm from. I just wanted to make everyone happy here, you know, be proud of the Hawaiian fighters, and we got some tough guys out here, so hope the world knows that, and I hope I show that here tonight.
And hey, let's give a hand, first of all, for Mike AINA on his marriage. And And second of all, let's give a big hand for both of these guys who laid it all on the line and gave you one hell of a fight. Now we got a present